Hi everyone, welcome to another Team Clueless tournament report. Today we're actually going to a tournament in my hometown of Luton. So we're not having to travel a load, so there won't be much video in the car, if any. It's only a 5-minute drive down the road, so that's pretty helpful. I am taking the army in front of me today. I thought about taking the battle company, but it's a lot of work. And this one seems a bit easier to play, and I really wanted to use a couple of my bigger models today. I wanted to take the Forge World Sikaran Battle Tank and the Knight, and this tournament allows you to take Forge World models, so I thought I'd use the opportunity. Mark's joining me today, and it's an 1850 point tournament. It's a tournament I mentioned in a video a few weeks back, which has not comp rules, but you get a score for your army at the start of the day, and then it's added to your overall score. It can be worth up to as much as another game win, so it's quite important. All armies will score something on this, so you get things like you get 5 points if your army's fully painted, hence it's fully painted. You get points for having your army fully based. You get points for even things like taking an army list that's nicely legible, having all your rules with you, and then when it comes down to actual army composition, you get points for things like if you have no super heavies in your army, you get 5 points. So I've lost those points with the knight. You get points if you've got one of each elite, fast attack and heavy. Then you get another point if you've got another elite, fast attack and heavy. You get points if you've got lots of troops. You get points if you don't use special characters, hence no Khan in my army today. So it's just, it doesn't force you to do anything, but it kind of like guides you in a certain way. So I actually quite like it. So without further ado, let's see what's in my army today. So as I said, 1850 points. It's their own special missions, which are basically maelstrom missions with a kinder deck. You get to discard cards a bit more often, you get a few more choices, so it's nicer maelstrom, and then at the end of the game you generally get to score one of the original missions as well. So I think there's a relic in one of the missions you get points for scoring the objectives at the end, and the other one's also a kill point mission, so a kind of mix of old style and new style missions. Leading my force today, we have the obligatory Space Marine Chapter Master on bike. He's the usual one I take. I'm playing White Scars. He's got Shield Eternal, he's got a Thunderhammer, he's got Artificer Armour. Backing him up today, we have a Space Marine Librarian, because I've gone for a little bit of Psychic in the army, just to try and give it a little bit of extra something, because it's quite a small model count army. It's not really a Death Star I'm making here, because it's not anywhere near tough enough to be a proper Death Star, but it can work as a pseudo one against armies that don't have a big tough one. He's a level 2. He's got the Hunter's Eye, giving the unit ignores cover. That's the main reason I've got him, because I can't take the Shield Eternal and the Hunter's Eye on the main guy. And he's rocking around on a bike. I'm not sure which powers I'll take yet. It'll depend on opponent. We have a command squad. I was up late last night painting these guys at last minute as usual. They've got plasma guns. Mainly because when I modelled them, it was so I could take them in my Blood Angel army as well. Blood Angels now take grav guns, but I decided that it's something a bit different, and I couldn't really be bothered to cut up all the models and buy some grav guns to go on them. So they've got 4 plasma guns there, and they've got an apothecary in there as well. Troop-wise, we're taking 3 squads of bikes. We've got 1 small squad here of melter gun bikes. Then we've got 1 squad there, which is double grav and combi grav, and then another squad there, which is double grav and combi grav. So not a huge number of bikes, but enough to get the job done. Well, I remember he's also got a melter bomb. I knew there was something else he had. Then in fast attack, we have a multi-melter attack bike and a drop pod. You'll see why in a moment. Heavy support, we have a Thunderfire cannon and a Sikaran battle tank. And then you're allowed to take 3 different codex choices, or 3 different formations, or detachments, that's the word I'm looking for, in the tournament. So my second detachment is a Night Warden. He's got the Storm Spear missile pods, and he's also got a melter gun as well. Just giving him a range of targets, and mainly anti-vehicle and heavy creature. I'm expecting to see a lot of Tau, a lot of Eldar, a lot of Space Marines at the tournament. I think it's going to be quite competitive. So I may struggle with this particular army. Then in my third detachment, I'm taking Courtiers, and he is also taking a squad of 3 melter gun acolytes and a Psyker. 10 points for a level 1 psyker seems good. They're going to be going in the drop pod, just those models are going in the drop pod. Cotiers is going to join to one of the bike squads at the start of the game, and then will be expecting you order to shoot anything that attempts to deep strike down behind my force, try and protect the knight from deep striking things, and then he might either join the Thunderfire cannon or he can rock out with the bikes and I'll string them out so he can stay with them. So that's the basic premise of the army. It's not as hyper competitive as I could be, but I was a little worried about time if I took the battle company. The tournaments are 2.5 hour rounds, and it's not hard dice down, but it's if you haven't finished your game properly in that time, i.e. got to turn 4 is what they consider finished properly, then you end up with a draw and neither of you get any points. It's to really encourage you to finish your games, but I'm a little worried that I'm not the fastest player in the world. The battle company is a slow list, so I've taken this list. It's low on models, they're quite easy and quick to move, they're all quite powerful. I'm hoping this will make me reasonably speedy at playing. So I believe Mark is bringing his AdMech battle convocation list that he's just picked up. So I'll get him to go through his army when he arrives. Wish us luck, and I'll take some more video, hopefully, when I get to the tournament. Okay, so we have arrived at the Luton tournament. Here we are inside the venue hall. It's pretty big, loads of tables laid out. Really interesting terrain. There's all kinds of different terrain here. I can't wander around at the minute because we are in the queue, waiting to register. So as you can see, we'll go around and show you various of the tables later on. So I have Mark here with me. Morning, Mark. You're a bit big on the camera today.
You're a bit close, mate.
I can't move out. I'm in a queue.
The camera adds like £15, so there's 14 on me at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, Mark. So, what are you bringing today? Go through your army for people. I've already done mine on camera this morning.
I'm playing War Convocation today.
Fun for all your opponents.
So I won't go through the upgrades because it's fucking hundreds. So Tech Priest Dominus.
Assume all of them.
Yes. I've got 2 destroyers, one with grav, one with plasma.
Oh, you went plasma?
So one with grav, one with the
flamer. Haywire, better, yeah.
Yeah. My Vanguard I've equipped with the... no.
You're going to need to know this when your opponents ask, mate.
I wasn't expecting... Right. 5 Vanguard, 5 Rangers, 5 Rascals, 5 Infiltrators, all kind of standard. I've got the Ballistari with the Cognis Las Cannon. I've got a Dune Caller with Icarus Array. I've gone for the Night Warder with a Storm Spear Missile Pod. And then your few hundred points, I've got Libby. He's level 2. He's got the Hunter's Eye.
Hunter's Eye, the most used relic in the universe.
Yeah. I don't know why it says 1 per army, because that's not true. It's 15 in the world. It's got to. I've got 5 scouts with sniper rifles, 5 scouts with bolt guns, 3 drop pods, and Cotiers.
And Cotiers, always fun.
Yeah.
And you've drawn your first round. I've got my first round. I'm playing against a White Scar Battle Company. You're playing against an AdMech. Yeah, mirror match, double knight mirror match, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
for him.
he's got no drop pods, but other than that, 2 knights. So.
Yeah, reasonable.
The mission is going to be, they use a combination of Maelstrom and Eternal War. So the Maelstrom is always the same. You've got 6 objectives evenly spaced out on the board.
Yeah, there's one in each kind of like 1/6 of the board. If you divide up into 2 foot by 2 foot squares, you guarantee there will be one placed in each of those squares.
Yep, everyone starts with 6 cards. You can always discard 1, you always draw 1.
Yep.
So you can draw up to 2 in a turn. And then there'll be an Eternal War mission. And the first mission is going to be Relic, which is worth 6 points at the end of the game.
Yep,
so
go and grab.
That's kind of what we're playing today.
Wish I had some servo skulls to stop the opponent White Scar scouting forwards.
Oh my god, I wish so. I was.
Yeah, I couldn't squeeze in the points. It's like I can't drop anything else.
I'm debating Cotiers or a like the Equista with both grenades and servos.
Yeah, I did similar, but I thought the anti-deep strike. But in this mission in particular, I really didn't want to draw White Scars, and I have.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, War Convocation's got just as much scouting.
Yeah, that's
Scouts
it.
are so important.
So we shall continue queuing and get back to you with a bit more of a walk around video later on, so you can see some armies. There's already some lined up here. The tournament, as I said, you can bring Forge World, and there's a Tauanar battlesuit over there, which I'll get a closer look at later on. Okay, just doing a quick wander around, looking at some of the tables, and might see if we can get some of the armies. As you can see, there's a huge variety of different tables here. It really is going to be a pick and mix of what you get on. Like this one here looks really cool. They've got a lot of the play mats here. Various types of ones. These ones are quite a few deep cut studio ones, which is quite nice. I think Mark's got one of these. And then it's variation of painted boards. There's some Realm of Battle boards. This one here's got a load of heavy line of sight blocking. Here's terrain you'll probably recognise from other videos of mine. I think John made this out of stuff I gave him. A rural old one there. Similar here. I think the club does a lot of Kings of War, but they also do... I'm trying to remember the name of... Oh, I'll come back to that. Look at this bad boy. Really nicely painted. OSL sourcing for all the lights and stuff. Oh, I don't want to play against this army. Yes, folks, that is 4 riptides, some broadsides, and a Tau-and-R battlesuit. And they play the other game that Jason comments in below if you can. Say what the other game is. Bolt Action, that's what I was trying to think of. This one looks really cool. I like that mat a lot. Down here, some weird wheat fields. Never played 40k on a wheat field before. They look like shredded wheat. Here's Industrial Table. You've seen his scenes before. I think this is John's terrain. Just getting the text on screen. There's Mark's army, and he's sorted out around that. It looks like a Dark Angel board. This one's Realm Battle, bit bare. And this one, this one is tightly packed in over here. Lots of stuff in the middle of that board. Okay. And we'll come back later with some more stuff. I am now recording, so we are at the end of round 1. I have Mark here. Mark, how did your turn go? Just I'll point out, by the way, look at the beautiful day we've got here in Luton. A perfect day to be inside a hall with 40 men.
Lovely and sweaty.
Yeah, it'll smell nice.
Yeah, no, so I was playing a Orclist, really nice opponent. He's running the new Gazgol formation, so he has Gazgol in it. So this means he's got basically a permanent Fearless army wide and a permanent 2+.
Yeah, really powerful, isn't it?
He initially got first term. I had Kotiaz, and they got the Warlord trait you can go for. This is
Lord!
The Warlord trait gives you +1 to seize. So this meant I seized. So essentially, Gazgol's hiding in the battle wagon. So I dropped in some of my Haywire, and I've got the relic that gives me essentially tank hunter on one of his tanks. So I dropped in 5 Haywire shots into a battle wagon, blew it up before it could move anywhere. So it's pinned at the backfield.
That's a big weakness of that army. There's so many points in that unit, and it's not particularly survivable transport system.
Yeah, this is it. So essentially, because I had the first, I was able to do that. His other big unit, he had a big squad of Storm Boys I was able to take out, and then he had a squad of Meganolds, which were kind of on my far right hand side. So I was essentially able to pin Gazgol back, hold the Meganolds quite far away until at least the second or third turn, push out the middle. I had invisibility, which I kept on
nice.
Which I had on my Grav guys. Grav guys aren't particularly good, but had the 3 characters in there, and it just made them really difficult to kill.
Gives them ignore cover, doesn't it? You got the Hunter's Eye.
Yeah.
Which is everywhere.
Everywhere has got it. So essentially, I was able to sort of pick off my left-hand side where I sent my 2 close combat units. They kind of pushed around the left-hand side. I killed most of the Storm Boys in the first turn with shooting, and then I sort of picked off wounds here and there, blew out the battle wagon. Sort of second turn, Gazgol sort of pushing on and stuff like that, getting into me by now, but he hasn't quite got there yet. Killed the second battle wagon, which had the Meganobs in, so the Meganobs are now on foot. This means I'm kind of controlling the board reasonably well. Turn 3, managed to get into close combat with the Gazgol on my invisible units, who got my 3 characters in. Invisibility obviously keeps me alive quite a bit, and I end up breaking out of the combat. By breaking out the combat, I position it so that Gazgol's not taking a first wound, and I kind of play around with what order I shoot things in to manipulate the armour saves until I bring them a unit to majority armour save 2+. That's when I fire my Grav into it. Because I'm firing my Grav, I've done an awful lot of damage with my Grav.
Yeah, good plan.
Killed out most of the characters, and from that point really it was kind of game over. Really.
Game over. So how did you score?
Max points 40, I think.
So you can score, just so people know the scoring, you can score up to 35 from your objective cards and the objective at the end of the game, which was the relic in this case, which was worth 6. Then you get an extra point for each of the secondaries. We're not using first blood, we're using first strike, which was if you kill anything in your first turn, you get a point, so both of you can score it. And if you get a massacre, you get maximum points +2, so you can get 40 points for a massacre. So you got 40 points, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Excellent. Let's see what I did.
There we go.
You sitting here?
Go.
Hello. The pretty one's on camera now. So I played against a guy called Andrew Boston. Really nice guy. He's a local Luton guy I've never met, obviously. We've both lived here for many years, so we had a really nice chat beforehand about another couple of local clubs, so that was good, so I might meet up with him again. He was playing a Khorne Demonkin list, pretty good list. It was a real rush list. He had 3 big units of hounds, 2 bikes. He was running the Gore pack, so he had a couple of units of melter bikes, and I think he had a unit of plasma bikes. He had a Corn Lord with a big killie axe of some sort. I didn't let him use it. Then he had 3 Mauler Fiends and 2 Helldrakes. So out of that things, the Helldrakes are an issue for my bikes, and the Mauler Fiends are an issue for my knight. They're all lasher tendrilled up, so they're quite good at doing it. So my game plan was steal initiative, but I failed that part of my game plan because he was going first, so I had to step back. So he charged across the table at me, as you can imagine he did. I think he was quite shocked on my first turn, where I basically assaulted him. With all the corn bonuses, all their Hammer of Wrath and their Gore packs and stuff, I was like, no, screw that, I'll get my Hammer of Wraths and White Scars. So I assaulted in, and it also locked all but one of my bike units up, so he couldn't Helldrake me. It seemed quite good because they're fearless in that. I wiped out quite a lot of his stuff. My big unit of characters and command squad I cast Force on, they went straight through a unit of 10 hounds down to 1 model, so they were still locked in combat. That was pretty nice.
Nice.
The knight killed a Mauler Fiend and stayed back a bit. The Sakaran damaged another Mauler Fiend. So the second turn I didn't give him many options. I'd got the -1 reserve Warlord trait, so only one of his Helldrakes came on. That came on, killed 4 of my bikes in 1 squad, the squad that hadn't got into combat. But I scored loads of points first couple of turns. I was just going objective. Then second round I mopped up his remaining 2 Mauler Fiends quite happily with the knight and something else, and the knight charged into close combat with the unit of dogs with his lord in. He had nothing in his unit that could hurt me, and because he's fearless, he's from Corn Demonkin, he couldn't leave combat. So then in his next turn I then stomped his lord out. So that was that gone. He'd dropped the relic, so I then had the relic, and I was just mopping up everything over the table. I had firepower, but also close combat. I was just chasing around and killing stuff with that. Thunderfire cannon was awesome as always. But the 2 Helldrakes, I could not kill the fucking Helldrakes.
They've always been broken.
So I got to turn 4, I'd got one down to 1 hull point, and one was just come on. Turn 5, I got them both down to 1 hull point. Turn 6, he'd got a hull point back on one of them. I managed to kill the other one. Turn 7, I failed to kill it again, but it was on his turn. He had to fly off the table because I'd immobilised it. And wipe out for me.
FTW.
Yeah, baby. But really nice game, really good opponent. We had really fun game. No rules issues, nothing like that. So really good. So double 40-point wins for us.
Go TC so far.
Go Team Clueless.
Okay, you joined us at the end of the tournament. We didn't have time in between rounds 2 and 3 to do a video. So Mark, how did rounds 2 and 3 go for you?
Rounds 2. So round 2 would have been relic kill points. Kill points in the maelstrom as normal. I was playing against pretty much a mirror match, which is another war convocation. His slight difference.
That was Chris Kemp, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that one. Yeah.
Right. The slight difference is he takes a Colexus instead of Coaches. It's basically a big difference.
Yeah, swap out, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a little bit more optimised in that he's got all grab on his dudes, and all of his stuff has got the plasma. So I think that's the weapons I would probably choose to run.
Yeah.
Which I probably will do in the future. Just I want it to be Wizardweek and painting and unlading.
Yeah.
So I had the advantage in that I had first turn and I had Coaches, so I could deny the sea. So that was pretty good. But on my first turn on my drop, I dropped in to sort of plasma some destroyers. Did absolutely nothing, didn't even remove a single model.
Yeah.
That hurt really badly. When he dropped down with his drop pods, he was able to just out of range of Kotiaz. And then he was able to get the ignore cover on me, kill my 3 of my destroyers. So on the destroyer fight, I kind of lost on both fronts really, because he was then able to assault. He did me 1 wound, then ran me down in close combat in the other side. So that was kind of like I think quite swingy at the early game. I stayed in it until about sort of turns 4 or 5. He started to pull out a bit of a lead, and ended up with he beat me sort of quite comprehensively in the end as well. And I think made quite a few mistakes. Like I completely forgot about my Cypher Scouts, didn't even roll for them.
Oh,
so, 3 kill points basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a few little silly mistakes, like I forgot to use a movie unit here or there, and stuff like that. So,
When in a time crunch tournament, it's hard though, unless you're well drilled, and that's the thing about the practice, isn't it, with an army? Unless you're well drilled, it's really hard to remember all those things.
this is it, especially the Admech Warcom.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought a simple list, because I didn't make too many errors with it today. I don't think, probably did, but not many.
Yeah, so I did score a lot of points, but that was a game loss. Third and final game was against an Imperial Guard army. He had
Loads of wyverns by the look of it.
Yeah, 4 wyverns. Oh my god, how good are wyverns?
So good.
Jesus
Against
Christ.
any target as well. As long as they can hurt it, they hurt it badly.
They were devastating. They were
Yeah.
target priority number 1, but I got on turn 6. You had 4 Wyverns in 2 squads of 2. You had 2 Vendettas and a Valkyrie. He had about 2 squads of 20 guards. And he had some veterans and some of the stormtroopers lying around.
Yep.
A couple of Primera Psychers and a couple of the priests. I had first turn again. He did Caesar me, but Cody has made a re-roll.
Yeah, I was next to the table. He was happy there, wasn't he?
Yeah. I dropped him with my Grav Centurion. Perfect shot in the Wyverns with no cover. Did 1 whole point. So that meant the Wyverns would continue to bombard me. But in this game, basically, I pushed my 2 assault units round on the left-hand side. They were able to get into close combat. One of them went through the 20 guardsmen with the priest. The others kind of killed the Wyverns with the help of the scouts. This is bolt scouts who outflanked on. The Imperial Knight is a bit of a boss. He just went round. There wasn't really much in his army that he could do to kill him, so he went round. Eventually, I killed so much of his stuff on the ground, he had to land his Vendettas. When the Vendettas hit the deck, my Imperial Knight was still there, so he just fire assaulted or shot them out the sky. So, real big win, got the massacre.
Excellent.
Got max points for that one.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop that there.
Good.
Okay, so round 2, I was drawn against a guy I'd been chatting to earlier in the day. He was playing a White Scar, what's it called, Battle Company, with a double full Grav Devastator Skyhammer Assault Force. So, that was good. I got first turn, but it's not really much help. The way the objectives are set up here, they're all 12 inches in from the side at increments. So he outflanked his entire army other than 2 scout squads, and he had most of his army was in Razorbacks and drop pods. So he had 2 drop pods come in turn 1 with 2 melters in each. So he dropped down, took 3 whole points off my knight and blew up my Sakaran with his 2 squads. Yeah, that was fun. So then I obviously killed those units on my first turn, but really not a good trade. So then his turn 2, his Skyhammer came down. He used, because it uses ETC rules, you can stick characters in the Skyhammer. So he had a Raven's Eye chaplain in a full Grav Devastator squad. They came down. I'd split up my characters, so he couldn't just wipe them all out. So he decided not to go for the bigger squad. He went for the smaller squad with courtiers, which I'd kind of tried to lure him into doing. So he just wiped them out. It's just pointless rolling. All the Devastator doctrines and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
He rolls this auto hit, more or less auto wounds with the Grav, just wipe off. And his other stuff just rolled in onto every objective on the table, took every objective, got the D3 plus 3 objective points for it. Because they're all set 12 inches in, you can't ever sit them in the centre of the table, which I think is a bit of a flaw in the objective deployment system. So he just moved in, objective skewed, knocked a few of my units off, took them all. He fired 2 bolt guns at my Tech Marine, who was in 2 up cover with his 2 up armour, killed my Tech Marine. There was 2 bolt guns, wounding on 6s, I rolled 2 1s. So it was an atrocious turn 2, I just lost most of my army. Then rest of the game, my knight wiped out one of his Skyhammer squads, the one with the Hunter's Eye. I really wanted them gone, and then I felt my command squad, which hadn't been touched, could just zip around the table, getting out of the range of most of his guns. I drew some okay objectives. I just scored points sacrificing units for the next turn, and then all I was left with was my command squad with the Chapter Master and the Libby. But they just rolled around the table, kicking the shit out of everything. The Libby every turn cast Psychic Shriek, every turn rolled like a boss. The amount of 2s I rolled, Hunter's Eye gives you +1 ballistic skill, making it amazing on it. So I just kill a squad with Psychic Shriek, kill another squad. It was a kill point game. I actually beat him in kill points, even though I'd wiped out most of my army. In the end, I think he scored 35 points, I scored 30 points, so he won. But after the turn 2, I felt it was a really good result for me getting to 30 points.
Yep.
And near the end of the game, he was the one who was like, oh, I think this should be finishing about now. And I was like, oh no, I think we'll roll and continue, because I was just killing units every turn and drawing cards that I could complete and such. So, good game. I mean, he was a nice enough opponent. He was a bit slow. Because he's just Skyhammer and the thing, there's just so many models on the table, it gets a bit confusing. It's like, which one's here and all his reserves and things. It's just, I think some paper aids would have helped him quite a bit there.
Yep.
Last game was against a triple star demon player. He had a Screamer Scar with double Herald, Fate Weaver, a Nurgle Plague Flight Star with Herald, a Slaanesh Seeker Star with Herald, and then a couple of incidental troops. I got first turn. The objective, the courtiers being able to protect you from being seized is immense because you can just set up to go first. So I door covered orbital bombardment, took out half of his plague star, nearly killed them. I got a hit on the guy in the centre, the herald, but he managed to make his 5-up in run. So that was not so good, but took out half of it with that. That was great. Thunderfire and Sikaran and Knight did a number on the screamers, so really reduced them down. So both his stars were really reduced down, 0 threat. The Seekers didn't come on till turn 4. By that time I'd killed the Screamers and the Nurgle Star, but the amount of firepower it took, one turn I fired my entire Knight at a 1 wound Herald. He didn't die.
Wow.
He just picked up his dice and rolled his saves. They're all 4s and 5s and a load of 1s. So just pick up the 1s, roll them all, they're 4s and 5s. He just looked at me and was like, what the hell? So those two survived. The game went on. It was a really good game. Went to turn 7 in the end. I won 26-16. We'd massacred so much stuff on each other side. Fate Weaver was just a boss. He ran around, he D'd my Knight with a 6 on the D result. It was brutal, and I knocked him down to Fate Weaver and some Nurglings at one point, but by the end of the game he had summoned another 3 units of Screamers and such. Okay, we've got to go over there. We'll do a Forts video shortly.
Cool.
Okay, it wouldn't be one of our tournament reports unless we're in a car. We're just sitting in the car park quickly, both a bit knackered after a long day's 40k. Okay, just thoughts on the tournament, Mark. What do you reckon?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well won. Absolutely no major dramas. Great terrain, really good terrain.
Yeah, really good tournament. Lovely venue. There's so much space, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Just space everywhere.
Definitely
Gone a
one I'm
bit
going to
dark.
highly recommend we'd come back to again.
Yeah, I like it on a Saturday as well. Saturdays are a lot easier for me than Sundays. I know it's slightly different for yourself. But...
Yeah, I prefer some days, but hey ho, can't have it all.
But yeah, it was really good, really competitive as well, but friendly competitive.
Yeah.
There were some real hyper competitive armies there, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyed. Thanks to Bennett and his friends who were helping him run, but really well run tournament. The club is on a Thursday night in Luton. If you want to come down, you can see, obviously they had brilliant terrain. There's loads of parking, as you can see here. Just overall fantastic event. We'll be coming again. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers, Mark.
Bye.